This man clearly needs medical attention. How did no one notice, Rach? Well, it's because they happened to do this on the morning of September 11th, 2001.
Oh, no one gave a shit.
Welcome to episode 110, people.
Oh my gosh. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
If you're new
people
here,
are the worst.
We love to tell stories with a plot twist. It's a Monday night, so these can be tricky. Listen.
These are tricky business.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
I might say a dumb comment or two. It's just because I'm tired, man. And, you just have to roll with it.
Yeah. You got to take us for who we are.
Rebecca, I'm telling my story today, and I think I can just jump right in, for being honest.
Hell yeah.
Today, I'm telling you about Larry McNabney. McNabney.
Okay. Don't know of a Larry McNabney.
Okay. Well, sources are LA Times, ABC.com, 2020, and Lodi News, which is a daily newspaper based out of Lodi, California, who covered the trial beautifully. Thank you so much, Lodi. Lodi. I'm guessing it's Lodi, California. You'll tell us.
Lodi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Lottie.
Lottie Dottie.
We like to potty. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody.
But we might bother people.
That definitely will. But whatever. Anyway.
That will.
An ode to Snoop Dogg. So carry on.
Is it? That's Snoop?
Yeah.
Right? No, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Larry McNabney grew up in Reno, Nevada, and I dug into his childhood, but really the most notable thing is the fact that he lost his brother and father within 3 weeks of each other, which is
what?
Obviously tragic. Both in 1970. His brother was 23 and his dad was 51. And I found an old newspaper clipping and his dad's death announcement that someone posted on findagrave.com. And it said officials were attempting to locate James, that's his father, to serve him with divorce papers, but they couldn't find him. So they called the police and they found him in his apartment with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh, no.
And I was like, that's kind of weird that the local newspaper gave that much detail about we were trying to serve him with divorce papers and all that. But then it reminded me that Dad said that back in the day, their local newspaper in Jasper, Alabama used to print people's salaries and bonuses.
They did?
Weird. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I wish people would still do that.
Right. It would be like Lloyd C. Britton made $20,000 this year and received a $200 Christmas bonus or whatever the normal salary was in the 50s and 60s.
Seems dangerous.
I know. How weird is that? Everyone just all up in each other's business.
Oh my God. I wish they would do that now.
Oh my God. It's like John Smith didn't do well this year.
Oh,
probably because he's screwing around behind his wife's back, the scoundrel.
Yeah. God. So what? I would read the local newspaper 24/7. Are you kidding me?
God. Right. So yeah, James McNabney's death was sad. Sure. His father's. It also notes in that newspaper that his son, James Jr., died of a heart attack 3 weeks prior. 23 years old, heart attack.
My gosh, this is terrible.
I know. And also, according to that this has nothing to do with my story. I just found it so tragic and interesting.
Yeah.
But also, according to that Find a Grave, Larry had another brother who died at just 1 day old.
Oh, no.
His tombstone's on the Find a Grave, and it just says Baby McNabney.
No.
Oh my God. They didn't even name him yet.
Good Lord.
So that's their tragic family history. Here we are in the 90s. Larry, the only surviving son, he's in his 40s and is a personal injury attorney in Reno. On top of being successful, he's 6 feet tall. He's very fit and women love him. His friend actually said he had a great relationship with women until he married them. Because at this point in his life, he had been married and divorced 4 times.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
In his 40s?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. He had 3 kids who said he was a very loving father and was always there for them, but he did have demons. He struggled a lot with alcohol and went to rehab, I think, 3 times. And one of his ex-wives said when she met him, he was clean and sober and he was wonderful. But when he started drinking again, he would become verbally abusive and sometimes go on benders and vanish for weeks at a time. So this was kind of the pattern with his marriages, hence why they didn't work out.
Totally.
And it kind of amazes me that he was able to maintain his own practice, but apparently he was like a natural born leader. And I get the sense that when it came to his work, he was 100% focused on that, and it made him very successful.
Oh, good. Good for you.
By the mid-90s, he got his life together. The drinking was under control. He wanted to revamp his image, so he started doing local commercials, which made him a small-town celebrity at the time. In one, he's riding a horse with snowy mountains in the background, and it's like, if you've been injured, you deserve competent legal help. You deserve and should demand experience. I've been a trial lawyer for so long, I can barely remember doing anything else, and I love what I do. If you've been injured in an accident, call me. Larry McNabney. That's an actual commercial.
Yeah.
And the publicity worked, and he became so busy that he opened a second office in Las Vegas. In June 1995, he posted an ad in the newspaper for a receptionist job at the Vegas office, and 28-year-old Elisa Redelsberger applied for it. Elisa was originally from Attleboro, Massachusetts, before moving to Brooksville, Florida, where she attended Hernando High School. She came from a prominent family. She was a cheerleader and very smart. She had an IQ of 145 in high school.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. But she got pregnant. So her and her boyfriend actually dropped out of high school and got married, but had it annulled before their daughter was born.
Uh-huh.
They named her Haley. And from that point on, I don't think he was really in the picture, not actively at least. So it was Haley and Elisa for the most part. So she hustled as a single mom and wound up in Vegas when Haley was around 8 years old. She met and married a man named Ken, who Haley loved, but sadly that marriage didn't work out either. And they got divorced, but Haley split her time between Elisa and Ken because she saw Ken as her dad. So Larry was very impressed with Elisa, and though he was 17 years older than her, he was 46 at the time, she's 28, he was very taken with her. According to Haley, she was hard not to love, so of course she got the job as Larry's office manager / receptionist, and they kept it professional for about a month before Larry asked her to dinner. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Full 30 days.
I mean, and that's her boss.
I know. And so I actually don't think that his fourth marriage was final yet. I mean, yeah.
Finalized?
His divorce was final yet.
Damn.
Haley said Elisa came home so excited about it, though. She was raving about how smart he was and charming, and she admired his work ethic, and he made her feel so special and all this stuff. So they started dating, and Larry's kids said Elisa was very personable from the jump, welcomed people into her life with open arms, and it seemed Larry was keeping his life on track and staying on the wagon for Elisa.
Oh, good.
This is the Feel Good podcast.
Oh, yeah. It always has been. Fun fact, too, while we're on the topic of dipping your pen in the company ink, Rebecca is a frequent flyer of that. Just saying. She's dipped her own pen in the company ink once or twice.
Twice.
Not with a boss. Twice.
With a boss. Come on. Yeah,
really? Only twice?
I mean, high school if you count Tzatziki's.
Oh, yeah. I was.
Oh, you do? Okay. 3 times. On top of being the boss's girlfriend, she ran shit.
Hell yeah.
Very business savvy. Again, she's very smart and pulled her weight, keeping his practice in order. They went back and forth between Reno and Vegas to manage the 2 offices, but their home base was Reno. When Haley met Larry, she didn't get the same likable feeling as everyone else did. He wasn't fun-loving to her. Granted, she was like maybe 12 years old at this point when she met him, and she loved her stepdad, so probably wanted things to go back to the way they were. But she didn't get the same warm and fuzzies about him that everyone else did. So you can imagine how upset she was when she found out that they got married without telling anyone.
Oh, no, they did.
Yeah, so this is Larry's 5th wife.
Jesus.
Haley was staying most of the time at Ken's house, and one day she came home, and Ken told her that Elisa called and they wanted her to go visit them in Reno. So she packed a bag, expecting to come back a few days later, but Elisa was like, nope, you're living here, you're moving here. And even as an adult, when she's being interviewed, she bursts into tears thinking back on this.
So she just thought she was going for a few days, and she was like 12, and they were like, oh, no, sorry, you're staying here for good.
Yeah, you're staying here.
Oh, and Ken's in Vegas? That's tough stuff.
Yeah.
Yikes.
They then relocated to Sacramento, the Sacramento area, and opened a 3rd office. And Elisa and Larry were living a very lavish lifestyle. They loved horses. Larry was a great rider and would show horses. At one point, they had a matching Corvettes. They were, that couple.
Get those vets.
And Elisa was smitten, but unfortunately, he started drinking again. And this time it wasn't so much taken out on Elisa, but on Haley.
Nope.
And it had been a few years since Haley moved in with them, and they apparently never got along. I'm not sure if it got physical, but he would call her like a bitch or threaten her. So around the age of 16, Elisa sent Haley to Maine for the summer to work at a horse training place just to give them some space.
Yeah. Well, okay. Send her to Ken's for the summer. It's probably what she wanted, but
yeah,
okay.
I don't know why Maine, but
yeah.
Pretty.
I want to spend the summer in Maine.
Sure. Meanwhile, Larry was getting more into showing his horses and was competing more and more, and this took most of their focus. They would travel all over the country, and because of that, they needed more help, so they started interviewing for a secretary position and hired 21-year-old college student Sarah Dutra. She was an art major at Sacramento State University.
I have a bad feeling about that with Larry's track record. I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yeah. Well, luckily they didn't really get along. So.
Okay, good.
But Elisa and her did. I think Elisa saw herself in Sarah. They quickly became very good friends. They went shopping all the time. They went on vacations. They went out to dinners. Obviously, Elisa picking up the bill because, Sarah's in college. Mm-hmm. And they became inseparable. Their friends said you didn't see Elisa without Sarah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They even got matching underwear and had sleepovers where they'd sleep in the same bed.
No. Well, wait.
Now, almost every single article is like they were best friends. I'm like, no, they were more than friends. Why aren't we acknowledging this?
Oh, no one acknowledges it?
I mean, a few do, but a lot of it is they were just so inseparable. I'm like, no, you're not sleeping in the same bed with your friend on vacation when there are multiple bedrooms. Nope.
No.
What are we doing? Let's call it what it is.
And like seeking matching underwear to buy together? No, what?
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. Something I think more was going on here. And friends of Larry said Larry suspected that. Mm-hmm. But it's never been confirmed. Haley did confirm they did sleep in the same bed, but it's reported like the reason is unknown. I'm like, no, come on, guys.
Because they're hooking up.
They're hooking up.
There's the reason. Okay.
But again,
I don't want to spread lies.
That's my own opinion, and that's never been confirmed.
Okay, yeah. For real.
So anyway, once Sarah started going to the horse shows with them, Larry was sick of it. That's not what they hired her to do. In fact, that's why they hired someone, so they could go travel and do whatever. So Larry actually asked Elisa to fire Sarah, but she wouldn't do it. And it became this pain point in their relationship. So Larry started pulling back from his own practice and getting more into that hard and fast lifestyle, drinking more. There may have been a little drug use. And this left Elisa to take over the business side of things. In 2001, they had a horse show in LA. And of course, Larry and Elisa went and they made a vacation out of it. And while at dinner that first night, in walked Sarah. What? Elisa invited her, and Larry was pissed.
I would be so pissed.
I would be pissed too.
Is she still working for him at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Which makes it all the more shocking when he made some smart-ass comment about Sarah leaving, and she turned to him and said, "Fuck you, Larry."
Oh, no.
That's your boss, dude.
Whoa.
And
I immediately picture Susie and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Fuck you, Larry.
You're exactly right.
That's all I can picture.
Get the fuck out of my house, Larry.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Wow. So what does he do? Sorry.
Oh, that's it for him. He storms out of there. He went back to the hotel and he passed out. The next day, he is off his game when he's showing that horse. Something's not right with him. He's disoriented. He feels sick, seemingly hungover. So that night, he doesn't even attempt dinner. He leaves, and Elisa and Sarah go out. And the next morning, they return home to Sacramento, and Larry is nowhere to be found.
So they stayed in LA.
Yeah, he's gone. He just vanished from that horse show.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier that he's done this before. He goes on benders and will vanish for weeks at a time. So there's nothing too alarming. And actually, Elisa and Sarah are still maintaining their travel-filled lifestyle, still on Larry's dime. They're gone so often, they hire another secretary or office manager. Her name's Ginger Miller. Mind you, this is what Elisa was hired to do. She was first. Yeah. Then Sarah. Now Ginger.
I mean, what are we doing?
What are we doing here? You don't need three.
Yeah, I thought Lisa was supposed to be business savvy. She's like, why are we throwing all
Pissing
these
away
salaries
Yeah.
out the window? I mean,
Because he's rich. They own a boat. Well, if y'all don't follow Jake Cornwell, is it Cornwell? On Instagram. He is
Cornell. I don't know. He is so funny.
funny.
Okay. Wow. So bring in Ginger. What?
Bring in Ginger
Is she going to
Miller.
start traveling too?
Well, with Larry gone, Ginger never even met him when interviewing. She became almost like the third gal pal, but after a while, she's like, when am I going to meet my boss? And Elisa kind of fills her in on his past and tells her that he took off after that horse show and he's likely either in rehab or with this group he used to be a part of with his ex-wife. Everyone else mentions it. I don't think it's that notable. It was like the spiritual group that some called a cult, but you were able to leave without question. So it doesn't seem that culty to me. Or if it is considered a cult, it's the worst. It's a bad one. They're not very good at that.
They did not understand the assignment.
No, they didn't. So I'm like, I don't know. They like meditate. I think it sounds like a
yoga deal.
Right.
This is your husband. What do you like? I don't know. He's probably in rehab. He might be on a bender. He might be
at this
doing a dance
group
in the woods with this group that I don't know anything about. Like what?
I know. Ginger finds it bizarre too.
This further solidifies my theory that she likes Sarah more than her husband.
Right. Well, it doesn't help. They're clearly having marital issues, and she even tells Ginger that she's planning to divorce him anyway. So she's really not too concerned about it. But Ginger very much is. They're spending a lot of his money, and he hasn't been working in weeks. Meanwhile, his kids are calling constantly, demanding to know where their dad is, and no one can give an answer.
What?
Because remember, they relocated to Sacramento. I think most, if not all 3 kids are still in Reno, Nevada.
Yeah. And they're like adults, I guess.
Yeah, they're adults now.
Yeah.
Something isn't sitting right with Ginger. She's getting a vibe. And after about 2 months since the last time anyone saw Larry, she walks into the police station and reports him missing.
There you go.
Yeah. Mind you, she's like, I don't know what he looks like. I can't tell you one thing about him because I don't, never met him. The first person they contact is Elisa, and she's fine talking to them because she too has no idea where he is. Cops don't suspect her of anything, but they're no more closer to knowing where the hell he went than when she first walked in. So she leaves. They're fine. Without knowing it was Ginger who went to the police, Elisa tells her she's done with Larry and she's moving and asks Ginger to help load the Jag. She has a red Jaguar at this point.
Dope.
Ginger reluctantly does so. And as soon as they're done, she steps away and calls the police and tells them this missing man's wife is now moving.
Yeah. Y'all zero in on this chick.
Yeah.
Gosh, Ginger.
Sus. I know.
Good for you.
I know. See something, say something.
For real.
So they get there, but Elisa's already gone. So they question the person closest to her, Sarah Dutra. She comes to the police station with her little dog in tow. It's this white frou-frou looking thing. And says it's been a while since she's spoken to Larry or her BFF, Elisa. She hadn't spoken to Larry in about 4 months. And she said the day Elisa was moving, when Ginger helped her load the Jag, they were supposed to go to a horse race in Arizona. And Elisa said she paid for her plane ticket. But when Sarah got to the airport, they told her that the ticket was only on reserve, not paid for yet. So she called Elisa and her phone number had been changed.
Sketch.
February 5th, 2002, a vineyards groundskeeper in San Joaquin, California. He noticed some birds circling in the sky, and he's walking between the grapevines and all of a sudden sees a foot poking up from the ground.
Oh, shit.
He calls the police, and it is, in fact, Larry McNabney. But here's the weird thing. The medical examiner determined that he's been dead for months, but his body is almost in perfect condition, not at all decomposed. He would have had to have been preserved, but not frozen. Because according to Terry Haddix, a forensics pathologist, when a body thaws after being frozen, the breakdown of the tissue and decomposition starts at a very rapid pace. And it causes the body to look not good.
Ooh.
It looks grosser than a normal dead body.
Oh, no.
Therefore, she confirmed he would have had to have been in a cool place without insects or bugs around.
Okay. Wow. He's like, okay. Oof.
They also have no idea what killed him. There's no blunt force trauma. There's nothing. So until the toxicology report comes back, they're looking for Elisa, even blasting her picture all over the TV. It was on Good Morning America. FBI is blasting off Elisa's picture everywhere. It's a manhunt.
Oh, man.
So March 2002, 1 month after Larry's body was found, police get a call from a very frantic Haley. She tells them she's been on the run with her mother for over a decade, and FBI have been looking for her as Elisa McNabney, but her real name is Lauren Sums, and she's in Destin, Florida.
Oh.
Now, some pronounce it Lauren and some pronounce it Lauren. So it's Laren. So it's Lauren without the U.
Yeah.
I don't know which one she wants to go or which one it's right. So I might say Lauren because that's just, it flows better.
It's our sister's name.
And it's our sister's name.
It probably flows a lot easier than Lauren.
Lauren.
Okay. How old's Haley at this point?
17.
Oh, my God. She's been on the run for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay. Carry on.
So that's right. There's no Elisa. I love it. There's no blank moment lately.
I know. Me too. Me too. Just wait until the top tier bonus. Speaking of that.
FBI were already well aware of this because when she fled, they looked up her name and realized she had no social security number, no driver's license, and there's no paper trail connecting to her identity whatsoever. So they knew it was a fake name, but they didn't know who she actually was. They searched the law office and their home and discovered dozens of sealed boxes. Inside, they found papers and documents with photo IDs that appeared to be Elisa, but they all had different names. She had successfully gotten through life with 38 different aliases.
Holy shit.
No. If the conversation turned to her past or childhood, like, tell us about yourself type of thing, she would avoid it. And because she's so damn smart and quick-witted, she did it in a way that seemed very natural and not at all like she's dodging the question. So people really never even thought twice about it.
Yeah.
So after Haley calls the police, Lauren is sitting on the beach in Destin, Florida. She sees a bunch of cops around this car that she'd stolen from someone and walks up to them and says, "Hi, I'm the one you're looking for." And they arrest her without incident. Jesus. She gets to the police station and confesses to everything. So here's Lauren's real story. What I said at the beginning was true. She grew up in Florida. She was incredibly smart. She just could not stop getting in trouble. Her rap sheet was 113 pages long. But the thing is, nothing was that bad. She stole some L'Oreal hair products, wrote some bad checks, and the crime that started this entire decade of being on the run was when she was back in Florida. She was dating some guy who was going through a divorce, and she bought his kids Christmas presents, and when she went to drop them off, the ex-wife was there and called the police for trespassing.
Oh.
She oddly enough
She went on the run for this?
Yeah, because she did spend time in jail. Even the FBI was like, that's bizarre. I can't believe she spent time in jail for that, but she actually did spend time in jail for that, and she was out on probation. She cut off her ankle monitor, woke Haley up in the middle of the night, and gave her 8-year-old daughter a choice. You can either run with me or stay with Grandma and Grandpa. She thought a monster was chasing them, and she was scared. What do you want when you're scared? Your mom. So she chose to run with her.
Haley.
I know.
Sweet angel. I want to hug her.
I know. That's when they headed out to Vegas, and along the way, they stopped in random places, went by new names. Lauren was educating Haley about escaping and said it's best to do it in a town with a bunch of tourism, a la Vegas. She got the job with Larry and was actually misappropriating funds pretty much the entire time. She stole about $75,000 from clients.
Jeez.
And Larry actually found out and wound up closing that Vegas office. That's why they really relocated to Sacramento.
Oh, wow.
Still married her.
Still, I mean,
like, well,
we can look past it.
Yeah. Well, the night Sarah showed up to dinner in LA for that horse race and told Larry to fuck off.
Hell yeah.
He went back to the hotel. Elisa and Sarah decided to break into their horse trainer's truck and steal horse tranquilizer and put it in a Visine bottle, and they put 3 drops into Larry's mouth while he was sleeping.
Oh, my God.
Hoping this would kill him, but it didn't. And that's why he was off his game the next day at the horse show.
Ooh.
But when it didn't work, that night they gave him much more. But again, he's not dead. However, this time he's completely incoherent and he cannot move, speak, or anything. He knows something is going on, but he can't yell for help.
Oh,
which
God.
would be terrifying.
That is terrifying.
So Elisa and Sarah get a wheelchair. They said they rented one, but I assume they just got it from the hotel. They're staying in a hotel in LA.
Yeah.
and they wheel him out of the hotel as is, very slowly dying, desperately needing help, but cannot move to get anyone's attention. I can only imagine what he looked like in this state.
Oh my God.
They roll him out of the hotel lobby, down the street to Elisa and Larry's truck, somehow lift him in the back of it, and drive off. How? How did no one notice? They're in a hotel in Los Angeles. They're doing this on a public street. They rolled him right in front of all the other guests and all the other staff. This man clearly needs medical attention. How did no one notice, Rach? Well, it's because they happened to do this on the morning of September 11th, 2001.
Oh, no one gave a shit.
No one gave a shit. The lobby was packed with people, and they were all watching the TV as Sarah and Elisa rolled him out right behind them. I would give anything to see that security footage.
Oh my God, for real. And are they like, what's everyone looking at?
I know. That's what I'm like.
They're not like, why is everyone, what's going on?
Oh, they knew. They're just.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Wow.
I'm assuming there wasn't a camera because surely that would have been leaked, but the internet isn't giving me anything.
Yeah.
So the morning of 9/11, we all remember where we were. Everyone is in awe at what is going on in New York City, and these two are driving to Yosemite Park, hoping the man they just poisoned will die on the way. But when they get there, he's not dead, and they didn't feel right burying him alive, so they transport him back to his house in California.
What?
Put him in a refrigerator in the basement and duct tape it shut. And there he sat for 3 to 4 months.
Oh my God, that is disgusting.
Disgusting. She had his kids over. She had a party at one point. He's just in the basement.
What?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't until they found out a missing persons report was out on him in late November that they decided they needed to do something with his body.
Oh my God.
So they put him in the trunk of the Jaguar. They drive to Vegas and they pull up to the Bellagio Hotel. And they're greeted by staff and asked to pop the trunk so they can help with their luggage. And Sarah, without thinking, just pops it.
Oh my God.
And Elisa jumps out, slams it shut before anyone saw anything, and said, "Never mind, we don't need to stay here." And they just peel out of there.
What was the plan?
I have no idea.
What?
So stupid. And she's telling this to police, and she's kind of laughing about the entire situation. She's like, and then Sarah pulled the trunk.
Oh my God.
Excuse
She
me.
is a monster.
Yeah, she's a monster. They attempt to bury him that night, but the desert was too hard. They couldn't dig a hole, let alone a grave. So they go back to California and decide to bury him in a vineyard because he loved wine and thought it would do him honor.
Oh, fuck off.
I know. And when cops still verifying information, they're like, all right, and how deep did you dig the hole? She jokes that it clearly wasn't deep enough. And the cops just laugh.
Oh my goodness.
They're just having a ball.
Fun.
She claims Larry was abusive and the fact that he didn't like Sarah played a big part in it. Again, speaks volume to the fact that
that's
they
your
had to be more
girlfriend.
than friends. Yeah. You're not murdering a spouse so that you can be friends with someone else. Sorry.
It's bizarre.
It's crazy. After they buried him, she felt police were getting a little too close. So Lauren tells Haley, "They found us, let's go." That's all her mom used to say to her when they would up and leave again. They found us, let's go. Again, furthering thinking like a monster's chasing.
Oh God. And this poor 17-year-old was finally like, I'm over it.
Oh, you'll see. They drove all night and even got pulled over once, and she sweet talked her way out of the ticket and only got a warning without showing a license or anything.
Oh my God. She is manipulative.
Manipulative and very charming.
Yeah, really. Exactly.
I know. But Haley said this time was different. She seemed particularly nervous, but Haley knew not to ask. They started making their way back down to Florida, stopping in New Orleans, Mobile, and Biloxi, Mississippi. And it's here she met a man, spent the night with them, and he mentioned that he had a condo in Destin, Florida. And just like that, after knowing her for one day, he offered for them to stay there. They take him up on it. Again, I'm like, what? You are very charming. I mean, what are you saying to these men? They take him up on it. It's right on the beach. I think it's Pelican Resort for those who know Destin or something like that. She's decided her new name will be Shane Averoni and asked Haley what she would like to be called, and she chose Penelope.
Oh my gosh, this poor kid.
I know. She then got a job at none other than a law office as a receptionist.
Jesus.
Like batshit. But Haley said her mom always knew when cops were closing in on her. She would get this particular feeling, and that would be it. They would move away immediately. And that's how she was able to stay one step ahead of them for so many years. And this was no different. She got a nervous gut feeling, so she met another man, stayed with him, and the next morning stole his truck and left him the Jag. And she and Haley took off. This time, they're in Charleston, South Carolina. You gotta stick to the tourist towns, guys.
God.
And they were going over the Ravenel Bridge when Haley said she has had enough. She was so sick of running and just wanted to go back home to Florida.
Oh.
Lauren stayed silent and eventually pulled over and said she would take her back and she could live with her grandparents, who, mind you, she hasn't seen in nearly a decade. So she turns right around and heads back down to Destin. I mean, there is so much driving in this. I'm exhausted.
God.
It's pretty silent for most of the way. And once they're back in Florida, Lauren pulls over and said she's going to let Haley get out of the car. But before she does, she needed to tell her something. And that's when she admits that she and Sarah killed Larry by giving him the horse tranquilizer. After explaining everything and saying a very tearful goodbye, Haley got out of the car and immediately called 911.
Oh, go girl.
I know, she's so brave. Once Lauren was arrested and told cops all of this, she signed a 3-page confession implicating Sarah Dutra as the mastermind behind it. She said she was the one who put the horse tranquilizer in his mouth. While waiting to be extradited back to California, she sat in a Florida prison with officers checking on her every 15 minutes. On March 20th, 2002, they checked on her at 11:15 and she was fine. But at 11:27, they found her hanging.
Are you effing kidding me?
Leaving Sarah Dutra to stand trial alone.
Damn it.
11:15, she's fine. 11:27, dead.
Ooh.
Sarah, of course, points the finger solely at Lauren, who she only knew as Elisa.
Yeah.
She confessed she did help her after the fact, but it was because she was terrified of Lauren. Apparently, she threatened to kill her if she didn't help, et cetera, et cetera. Which it is hard for me to believe that she would mastermind this. Like, she's not married to him. She has nothing really to benefit from him being dead.
No one believes
Not
that.
financially, at least, but she has a squeaky clean record, too. It's Lauren with the rap sheet.
Lauren's the one on the run
for I know.
A decade. Like, no one believes that. Sorry, girl.
A lot of people do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That Lauren wasn't the mastermind?
They're just co-conspirators. They're
well, sure. No, that I do believe, but I don't think.
Because I'm like, you are an adult. Like, why are you letting your quote friend trick you into murder? I mean, she does seem really good at manipulating people. So I don't know.
This is batshit.
I know. But Sarah's attorney is so obnoxious. He's in an interview and literally says, quote, she's just a helpless little thing. You just want to put a baby blanket around her and hold her.
Oh,
like,
no.
Stop. And in another interview, separate interview, he's talking about this evil person, clearly Lauren, taking advantage of this little baby. I'm like, stop calling her that.
We see the angle you're pushing. It's not working. She's in her 20s. Calm down.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Haley spent her 18th birthday in court testifying against Sarah. While Larry was missing, Sarah would forge the checks, constantly spend his money. When asked if Dutra was afraid of her mom, she said absolutely not. Nonetheless, the jury took pity on her and found her guilty of voluntary manslaughter instead of first-degree murder, and she was sentenced to 11 years and was paroled after 8. She was released in 2011 at the age of 31.
Oh, my God.
She has her whole life, and moved back to her hometown in Solano County, California, and has maintained a very low profile. Not sure what she's doing now.
What? We can't find her?
Mm-mm. Haley moved in with her grandparents. She went to school and became a critical care nurse and started a family of her own. She said she never wants her kids to feel that same fear and anxiety that she did as a kid.
Oh, that's good.
I know. And that's the story of a fugitive who may have escaped police forever if it wasn't for her brave-ass daughter who turned her in.
That daughter's got a good head on her shoulders for the shit she went through.
I know.
Good for her.
Good for her. Like poison murders, I'm always like, you little weak.
Yeah. Rebecca really hates a poison
I
story.
Usually do. Where I'm like, no, it's so, I don't know why. It just, I'm like,
because you want to hear about someone being stabbed today?
No.
Something more physical for you? Is more your vibe? You're sick.
No, I don't, so you have some things that interest you more than others. And I'm like, a poison doesn't usually do it for me. But this one was so batshit that I'm like,
It's
oh, wow,
crazy.
your daughter turned you in. Oh, I thought, like, when I first read about this story, I was like, surely Elisa's, I don't know, the victim after. So everyone was talking shit about Larry, and Larry seems wonderful. All his friends loved him, but everyone's like, no, he had demons.
He
and
had
all that.
some
So I'm
demons.
like, oh gosh, Larry's going to kill Elisa.
Nope.
And you're like, no, vice versa. She's the con artist who came into his life.
That's crazy.
And then planned his murder for 9/11. I'm like, what?
Well, she didn't plan that part.
Well, no, I know, but like this coincidence of what that was.
Oh yeah, she was like really
more like probably had to like psych each other up to like, okay, we've got to walk downstairs normally, not knowing what was on the TV blasting all over the world.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, no one is paying attention to us.
Run.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Patrons: Laura, Jamie, Alice, Erin, Michaela, Caroline, and Elisa.
Oh, no way. There's no Lisa.
The story was not about you, Elisa.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Thanks for joining, y'all.
Thank you so much. We have 2 custom shout outs. The first one's from Jessie to Cassidy. Happy birthday to my best friend Cassidy. Not only is she the most supportive, inspiring, and best friend ever, she also owns and runs a business with her husband. And as the best mom to 1, soon to be 2 babies. Oh, congrats.
Oh, congrats.
From our teenage years and into adulthood, she has been my ride or die. The one I know I can always call and would help me hide a body if necessary. Oh, she's your Sarah Dutra.
Oh, she's your Sarah to your Elisa.
Uh-huh. Cassidy, happy birthday. I'm so happy to celebrate another year together as your soul sister. I love you so much.
Oh,
nice.
Cassidy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Congrats on the baby.
Yeah.
The second one's from Katie. Otis Sutton is an Air Force veteran turned realtor who's now helping families find their dream homes in North Dallas suburbs. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in McKinney, Frisco, Plano, Little Elm, or the surrounding areas, look no further than Otis. With his dedication, integrity, and expertise, he'll guide you every step of the way. You can reach out to Otis on Instagram at otis.suttonrealtor. That's OTIS.Sutton is SUTTON.realtor. Or on Facebook, Otis Sutton, RHI Real Estate. Or feel free to email him directly at otis@rhirealestate.com to learn more and start your real estate journey with someone you can trust.
Otis, good job. Hey, Dallas
You
peeps.
have a good friend there.
I think it's a girlfriend. Or wife?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Good friend, wife, best friend, spouse, partner, who cares? Hey,
nice
Dallas.
Dallas, go
buy
find
some property.
Otis.
Go find Otis.
Thank you, everyone. Y'all are the best. And you know who isn't? People.
There it is.
And
how many times do we have to tell y'all? 110, apparently. Is this 110? Yeah. All right.
See ya.
Bye.